1, 2, 3, 4. Oh shit. Production problems. Hello. So it's the latest copycat, probably, of Russell Brand. I feel a bit funny doing this and nervous, but anyway, I've got a camp voice. Yeah, exactly. So what? Anyway, be careful what I say because. Okay, so anyway, I've thought for a while of trying to do a YouTube thing. As you can see, I'm no Russell Brand, but I haven't drunk anything this year. But anyway, you don't know who the fuck I am and you don't care, so I'll just get on with what I want to say. I primarily want to... Oh, by the way, quickly, this is called, by the way, hello, trying to be a bit RB, so UKIP, bear, punk, lion, octopus thing with punky Johnny Rotten hair. Don't listen to Johnny Rotten. He played in Palestine. He said some very horrible things about Palestinians, so we don't listen to him anymore. Spokesman for a generation, but all good things must come to an end. So, yes. So anyway, this is called for now the Trews Too. Russell Brand, a lot more famous than me, good looking, articulate, funny. But I've got my own theme tune, so, you know. Anyway, without wanting to be too much of a copycat, he said it's okay if you want to start your own thing and call it bleeding, there we are, punk rock. If you want to start your own thing and call it, I'm not so bad at this, am I? Call it The Trews, you can, but don't use my theme tune. But one thing I can do, which Russell Brand can't do as well as me, is play guitar and write little ditties. That thing called Corridors of Power, which I played a bit of, is bloody hell, it's been going for 2 minutes already. Get to the point, Alistair. My name's Alistair, by the way. Or Al. Radio Al, this is going to be called. So, this is Radio Al. Can we get that world to listen? If you're old as me, you might remember a punk group called The Clash. Kind of windbags, really. Oh dear, hate us already. And I've only been going for 3 minutes now. But I'm nervous. Anyway, Radio Al, Alistair, can we get that world to listen? Almost definitely not. No one's ever going to watch this. I'll be lost in the ether. Another person, really, jumping on a bandwagon, indeed. So, nevertheless, more to the point, importantly, really, what got me thinking, you know what, I'm actually going to do this because this Muslimophobia, which I like to call it, prefer to call it, is getting stupid for obvious reasons because of this attack in Paris. 16 people have been killed. On the same day, by the way, 35 Yemenis were killed. Did you know about that? No, I didn't either. Until I got to the very final page in this wonderful publication, Evening Standard. Anyway, why do I like to call it Muslimophobia? Do you care? I'm going to tell you anyway. Rather than Islamophobia, because this Islamophobia very well meant, but the problem that's developed with that term, I think, is that people... I'm a bit sleepy, so problems, right? Islamophobia. Cunts... Oh God, did I say that? Sorry, don't watch this, kids. Wankers like Sam Harris, new atheists, who are, some may talk about those arseholes and other things. Sorry, peace and love. They have these really ill-informed, stupid, disingenuous or stupid, I suspect the latter, attacks on Islam. I saw Richard dAWKinS interviewed on Al Jazeera. They were asking him, this now expert on religions apparently, yeah? Don't you think that part of the problem, I'm looking at myself, I'll stop doing that, turn that off, I'm getting vain. They asked dAWKinS, so mental block. Don't you think that part of the problem, part of the reason for fundamentalism is that, and this is the case, the secular governments, like the Shah in Iran, that we got rid of a virtually democratic government, I believe, in 1953 in Iran, and replaced it with the Shah, suppressed people, took them to prison for wearing the veil, for being devout Muslims, as they would put it. So anyway, this guy asked dAWKinS, what does he think about it? Doesn't he think that's part of the problem? dAWKinS was like, that's not the case. So basically, dAWKinS knows fuck all about Islam. Shall we get that straight? He knows fuck all. Sorry, try not to get angry. These things are here to help calm you down, actually. So, but these people are attacking Islam with their stupid, misinformed, deliberate attacks on Islam, saying that it's the cause of all the world's problems, or a lot of them. But saying, we've got nothing against Muslims, we're fine, we're not racist, we just don't like Islam. People like Sam Harris, another new atheist, I would argue that this attack on Islam, I'll get better at this, don't worry, this attack on Islam is, he says Islam is the thing that's causing terrorism, basically. If it wasn't for Islam, we'd be okay. We wouldn't have any terrorism. Israel is not as bad as Hamas. Just check the stats, you can see that's not true. So this guy is being deliberately misinformative about Islam as the cause of major Middle Eastern world terrorist problems. But it clearly ain't like that. So to prevent wankers like that saying, oh, I'm just having a go at Islam, I don't have anything against Muslimophobia, I think it's better to call it Muslimophobia. Islam is a smokescreen for the reasons for the terror, that's it. People are like, oh, it's Islam, yeah? Of course, there's no excuse for killing people in cold blood anywhere. This country, Paris, Yemen, Pakistan. If you haven't watched Jemima Khan's Unmanned Drones documentary, don't open your gob until you know something. Sorry, I'll try to stay nice. Not one of my good points. So yeah, it's not Islam, it's politics. I was going to say that these people, they've actually said the thing that we're pissed off about is, to say the least, is the fact that I believe Israel gets half of American development aid. Is scary, isn't it? Development aid? I thought that was for poor countries, never mind. So we're funding these bastards with their carnage. Iraq. If you don't know anything about Iraq, what we've done to them, killing hundreds of thousands of people, destroying the cradle of civilization, the equivalent of destroying the Acropolis and the Vatican, whatever. Check it out. Noam Chomsky, whoever. You might not like him, but he talks a lot of truth. Just find out. Use the internet. Sorry, calm down, Alistair. Use the internet to find out shit. And if you're going to put stuff on Facebook, selective outrage, then find out about it. Don't just say, oh, I don't like using Facebook for politics, but then when 12 people get killed because it's in Paris and it's an attack on freedom of speech, people want to put stupid cartoons on Facebook, don't they? Cartoons, yeah, exactly. The other thing I just wanted to mention is imams or Muslims have to condemn this, apparently. It's interesting, isn't it? I was on a Facebook group, Russell Brand Facebook group, actually someone was talking about the IRA. Does anyone remember the Pope coming on to apologise on behalf of Catholicism for IRA attacks? No, I don't either. Does anyone remember rabbis coming on to condemn the recent carnage in Gaza? No, I don't either. So that's another point I want to make. I've got a mental block, I hope we'll get better at this. Islamophobia in general. Okay, so obviously some people who don't have their heads completely up their arse accept that Islamophobia or Muslimophobia in the tabloid press is pretty commonplace. The Leveson report, I believe, found out that it was a deliberate editorial policy of the Daily Star. But I'm not going to talk about that now, much as I might like to. Shall we look at the more respectable press? If you want to talk about population control, how about the Evening Standard and the Metro? They give away free newspapers, isn't that great? We'll read this bullshit and we'll believe it because it's free. Nearly 1 million people read that probably. So here we are on Friday, was it? Just next to the editorial, we have my favourite professor of history and classics at Stanford University and author of Farage's Farmers and Fossil Fuels, How Human Values Evolve. Next to the editorial, we have this presumably reasonable, respectable person. Here we go. Third paragraph, he says, one day the madness of Islamist violence will come to an end. Third paragraph, Islam is not what it used to be. Alright. So how would we feel if we read Judaism is not what it used to be? Sounds a bit anti-Semitic to you, doesn't it? Christianity is not what it used to be. Bit of a stupid generalisation. And verging on racist, really, isn't it? Yes. Look, it's next to the editorial of the Evening Standard, so it can't be too bad. Unable to win straight fights against European forces in the 19th century. This guy's supposedly a historian. I'm not, even though I've got a master's degree. However, in it, but straight fights. This is fucking imperialism we're talking, you. Okay? But anyway, here we are. Final sentence. Islam was not always a faith that spawns terror. Okay, you can just say this guy is stupid, or you can say he's a racist. It's worth bearing in mind that disingenuity, I said that right, sorry I only went to comprehensive school, of people who are like, oh yeah, but it's nothing to do with racism, we're just attacking Islam, we're just being willfully and woefully ignorant about the world's second or biggest religion people followed. Yeah, we're just being willfully and woefully ignorant about it. I can't remember what my point was there, but hopefully it'll be implicit. Okay. Oh, don't give up the day job. Okay, so just one more thing, one example. This is Thursday. This is this guy called, French name, I am partly French, so I'm not being racist, I don't think. Writer Michel Hulot. Sorry, he's apparently an intellectual, an author, yeah. So he was unfortunate enough to have lost the pair who joined in a hotel's restaurant resort was attacked by Islamist terrorists with machine guns and a bomb, causing deaths of 117 people, including Valerie herself, who was his adored lover. Okay, that's not good at all. It's no better than Israelis killing innocent people all the time. Oh, sorry, did you not see the reports over the summer? Right. He then goes on to say this intellectual, Islam had smashed my life. I'm not going to try and do a French accent. And Islam was certain, I am a bit French, by the way. My loins are French. Was certainly something that I could hate. In the following days, I set myself to feeling hatred for Muslims, says the narrator. Afterwards, each time I heard that a Palestinian terrorist or a Palestinian child or a pregnant Palestinian woman had been shot in the Gaza Strip, I felt a quiver of satisfaction that there was one Muslim fewer. So I hope I don't need to say any more. Had this guy said this about Jewish people, had he said it about a whole religion, Islam had smashed my life, Judaism had killed my life, how would people react if Abbas came on TV or whatever and said, Judaism is destroying our lives. Christianity is to blame for the Iraq War and the Afghanistan wars and the bombing of innocent people in Yemen and Pakistan. I've said enough really, I don't want to go on too long, no one's listening anyway, no one ever does. Anything else? Letter in the Standard, I mentioned that letter. So, yeah, I think that's in that. Well, what I'm trying to say is that, well, what I want to say, if anyone is watching this, Islamophobia is so accepted, clearly, but Evening Standard doesn't even mention, it suggests that he might have said something wrong. He's a respected figure, he's centre spread in the Evening Standard. So, Muslimophobia is clearly up there with anti-Semitism in the 19th century, an absolutely lethal, endemic disease which is informed by misinformation, fueled by misinformation. So if anyone's watching this, I've studied it a bit, I'm lucky, find out a little bit about some things. So anyway, this is that is the end of the Trews Too. I'm gonna just leave you with something. This is my first my first YouTube posting where I try and talk about shit. I'll get better at it. Believe me, I'm usually quite good at this sort of thing. This is supposed for your amusement. You can have a good laugh at my expense because obviously I'm now starting this one, and it might be my last, who knows. I mean, Russell Brand, it's quite funny, there are conspiracy theories that John Lennon was killed by the CIA. Sean Lennon, apparently, who's not generally considered to be a loony left conspiracy theorist, believes that they did kill him. I might talk about that in another one if I'm still alive. So that's why. So if I fall off a cliff or something like Robin Cook did, and you never get to see one of these again, not that you probably saw this one anyway. This is a little one, another martyr. I haven't got a messiah complex really. I used to be a narcissist, but I've been weaned off it, believe it or not. So this is for your amusement. If you never get to see this again, or indeed, I'll live on forever somehow, won't I? If people, anyway. Without further ado, I will leave you with our favourite fascist, Freddie Mercury. Fascist, yes, he played Sun City, by the way, South Africa. So it's not only people like Johnny Rotten, haven't forgiven you clearly, who oppose cultural boycotts. Support BDS. It's the only way to. Israel's not going to change unless we get them to. Here's Queen, Freddie Mercury. Without further ado, there we go. Bye-bye. Dancing Bears. I think you know this one, don't you? Okay.
Let's go! Books further down the street, move it down low. Ain't no sound for the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this?